Thank you for tuning in to Shakaama Live, the Shakaama Live Show. Your host, Kevin Cardinale, with shakaama.wordpress.com. Today I'd like to talk about the radio and internet personality known as Tommy Sotomayor. He's a black personality that basically does a male version of the Wendy Williams show, which is he does gossip. He probably wouldn't call it gossip, but it's a gossip show. He talks badly about women and men equally, as I've seen. I've only seen maybe about an hour's worth of his stuff, but he mainly concentrates on black people. Now, you may hear me say, I've been accused of being like him, and I completely disagree. That's the whole point of this video. You may hear me say something in general about black or white people, but normally in my video I point out a disparity, or I point out a negative of something, and I try and paint the picture of everything that's going on. So instead of me saying there's racism in the world, I would say you have an economic program that's only applied to black people, and you have a negative of making sure that black people are not hired and into a certain market. And the solution, and I always present a solution, the solution would be that the black people need to pool their resources and buy into that market themselves. There's nothing wrong with pooling your resources and so forth. Anyway, I present a conclusion to anything that, or at least I try to. If I haven't, please make sure you keep me on point in the comments. But I try and present a solution, because I think the only my biggest thing with the black leadership is that they're hypocrites and they never present solutions. They just get up and speechify about problems in the black community. And I'm saying that there is no community, and that we need communities, that black people need to get back together and move in with each other and own their own neighborhoods. Right now they don't. Now, back to Tommy Sotomayor. I don't think, I try not to, and I try my hardest not to ever say anything negative about black people in specific. No gossiping, no finger pointing, nothing like that. I try, and that's why I don't tolerate anybody saying the N-word on my channel. I don't care who it's from. I don't care if you're black, white, blue, or purple, or fuchsia, or whatever. I don't tolerate that from anybody, and I don't tolerate it for anybody on my channel. I wouldn't want people saying cracker and honky on my channel either. So those comments are blocked or deleted, and sometimes I will modify some videos that I know are going to cause controversy, and I'll modify them just for those words, just so that there's no racial slurs or anything. You can call me an idiot. You can say that I don't know what I'm talking about. You can call me clueless. You can call me fake. You can call me whatever. You can call me, in your opinion, whatever. Just don't say anything racial or in my channel. But I don't want anybody to say anything racial about any race in my channel. Now, I will say white people do this. And when I've discussed this in an earlier video, when I say white people, I'm not talking about you, white people, who work for a living, who make $20,000 a year. You don't own anything. You don't control anything. Obviously, I'm not talking about you. When I say white people, I mean the powered elite, the moneyed elite, the people who make decisions, the 500 families that run a world. That's what I'm talking about. And it's true. What I say about them is true. There's no black person that came up with a with a system that takes black men hanging on their porch on the south side of Chicago, run them through the legal system, and a lot of times falsely. I know white people are flabbergasted that such a thing would happen, or can't believe that, oh no, the legal system is 100% right and just and justice and forthright. No, they take them, run them through the legal system, and then transport them down south to southern Illinois, and divide them up amongst the slave masters, the prison owners, which are privately held corporations, and then get federal monies into those areas due to the prison population. Like a prison population of 20,000 in a town of 600, and the town of 600 has new paved roads, new street lights, new parks, stuff that costs like, tens of thousands of dollars, in a tax base that probably collects $50,000 a year. That's $50,000 to pay off all of their police, their teachers, their firemen, the whole 9 yards. Or they can't even pay the firemen. The firemen are all volunteer. See, I will say something like that, and I'll say the solution is that we need to, people in south side of Chicago who are segregated, who do live in a segregated section, because Chicago is apparently racially segregated, they need to get together, fire all the police in their area, which they can do, and say hire only black police, and hire only black police that are going to serve the community and not harass the community, target and hold a community hostage, basically. See, I present stuff like that. Tommy Sotomayor just says just insulting things, nasty things. He's a nasty personality. He gets away with being the male version of Wendy Williams, and he acts in the male way of a Wendy Williams would. So he says nasty things. He calls black women beasts and stuff like that. I mean, there's no reason for that. And he's older than me, so he should know better. You don't call a black woman a beast. You need to say, hey, black women, you are spending and supporting a multi-billion-dollar a year industry in hair care for no reason at all. You need to wear your natural hair. There is no other racial group on the face of the planet that wears fake hair. The only ones that do are old women who don't have any hair. Their hair's falling out, so they walk around with wigs and stuff like that. Oh, that's expected. They want to look pretty or nice, and they're 70 years old and they have no hair. Okay, they're going to buy a wig, or they're going to buy some extensions or something. They're going to make their hair thicker and what have you. But you're supporting South Korea. You need to stop that. You don't say, oh, this beast is wearing a hair hat. She's not wearing her own hair, and she looks like a monkey. She looks like a beast. She looks like a baboon. And this woman is so fat she has cellulite on her face. You don't say that. That's not needed. I would hope that by watching me, that the people who watch me develop a little more class and a little bit more taste, and they wouldn't support people like him. I think for the black community, his personality is toxic. We need more people like me and a lot less people like him. As a fact, we don't need anybody like him. We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need Wendy Williams, Tyra Banks. We don't need those people. If you want to watch something trashy, go watch Jerry Springer. And I know that means that Jerry Springer will get the money for trash TV, or Howard Stern will get the money for the trash radio. But we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we definitely don't need to be talking about each other in such a manner. there should be absolutely no reason that a black man, a grown black man, adult man, should be calling a grown black woman or black man anything other than my brother, how can I help you? If he really cared, if Tommy Sotomayor really cared, he would be saying, hey, you know what? I have a voice. I have a platform that I can get up on. How can I help you? Hey, Nicki Minaj, how can I help you stop wearing blonde wigs and showing your body off and looking like a complete whore? How can I help you? Dude, that's what he needs to be saying. Not calling them beasts. Not calling them faggots. Not calling them, it was saying that they're wearing hair hats. Saying, how can I get you to accept that your natural hair is beautiful? That's what we need to hear. We don't hear that from anybody. Who says that? Nobody says that. You tell me, you show me, you link to me in the comment one single black or white person that says, how can I help you? Black is beautiful. You show me one. Farrakhan doesn't say it. Jesse Jackson doesn't say it. Al Sharpton doesn't say it. Al Sharpton with his perm pressed hair doesn't say it. Huh? Hypocrites. All of them. What's his name? Steve Harvey doesn't say it. How to think like a man. No, how to think like a lady. How to be a lady. How about that? How to marry a man, how to start a legacy, how to start a black dynasty. That's what we need to hear, not you're a beast and Lil Wayne is nothing. We know Lil Wayne is nothing. We know he's about nothing. We know he's a tool. We don't need to say it. It doesn't need to be said. You only need to look at him and go, oh, okay. We don't need to say Drake is a faggot. We just look at him and go, oh, okay. all right. How can I help you, brother? How can I? Let's do something. Let's go, but let's put some people on music that actually has a voice, has some talent, raw talent. None of this auto-tune. That's what we need to hear. We don't need to be hearing black people calling other black people beasts. We don't need to hear it. And we don't need to hear black people blaming the white man. Now, I will say white people have created a system to keep you down. But I say this is how we can work within that system, and this is how we can switch the system around. Huh? This is how we can work together. The first step is working together. The first step is getting rid of people like Tommy Sotomayor. Maybe he doesn't need to be gotten rid of, but maybe he needs to change his. Yes, he might be able to change his format to pointing out something disturbing going on in the black community, but he needs to end it with something positive, calling the person to say, why did you do that? How can I help you? Let's vindicate you on my show. It'll promote a show. It'll promote unity. We need to be about unity. White people are unified. Mexicans are unified. Asians are unified. Filipinos are unified. Japanese are unified. Koreans are definitely unified. Jews are unified. Black people need to be unified. Unequivocally. Alright. I know a bunch of his fans are gonna come flame me. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to present something positive here. We don't need his format. And I commend him for his self-promotion. I saw a couple of his channels. Then I went and looked him up, and he's created 20 different outlets for his stuff, syndication, and what have you. And I applaud him for that. I need to be more on the ball because I do this for clients. I don't do it for myself. It's kind of silly, huh? It's like the hairstylist who has the horrible haircut, right? Anyway, brother Tommy Sotomayor, change your format to be more positive, or at least conclude with something positive. I know you're feeding the masses with your lowbrow stuff, and you lowered the bar to the lowbrow stuff. I'm saying raise it up just a notch, just a notch. I'm not even okay. Don't even change the first part of your show. You know, you can point out the woman who has the fake hair, the weave, the bleach in their skin, showing their breasts. You could point that out, but end the show with, how can I help this woman? What can we do? How can we change this? Or present, and people are visual, present a picture of the ideal black woman with the natural hair, who does nothing but put honey and olive oil in her hair, and she has natural glowing dark skin, and she covers herself up, acts like a lady. Present that. There you go. There's a good format. That's a format out. I know you think I'm nobody, and I probably am nobody, but I was somebody in a couple of circles. That's what I would like to see. We don't have any positivity in our community. We need more positivity. I'm trying to elevate and raise the bar. You're steady lowering the bar. A bar in a community that doesn't need to be lowered. Huh? Let's think about that one. The bar doesn't need to be lowered in the black community. Thank you. I'm sorry this was so long. Anyway, thank you for watching. Shakaama Live. Kevin Cardinal.